What is the law of assumption? How to manifest anything? What if I told you that everything in your life right now is a reflection of what you've assumed to be true, whether you were aware of it or not? This is the law of assumption, one of the most powerful ways you can use to completely shift your reality. If you're new to manifestation or you've been using the law of attraction but still not seeing results, this video is for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future subliminals and possibly more videos like this one. The law of assumption is a manifestation method that teaches whatever you assume to be true will become your reality. Popularized by Neville Goddard, this law is based on the idea that your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions create your external world. Instead of waiting for things to happen, you assume they already have, and reality shifts to match. The law of assumption says that whatever you assume to be true becomes true. Unlike the law of attraction, which focuses on vibrations and attracting, the law of assumption is about embodying the belief that you already have what you want and allowing reality to mirror that. Neville once said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." That means you think from the end, not about the end. You live and think in the end because you assume you've already got it. Living in the end means accepting that what you desire is already yours. Not someday, not later, but right now. You don't wait for proof. You become the version of yourself who already has the life you want. And you live from that mindset every day. Ask yourself, if it were already done, how would I feel? How would I think? How would I carry myself? Then begin to think like that version of you. Speak like them. Feel what they feel. You no longer chase, hope, or wait. You embody, you claim, you assume. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. So instead of reacting to what's happening around you, you hold firm to the inner knowing that your desire is already fulfilled. Even if nothing seems to change right away, you persist in the assumption that it's already done. Because when you live in the end, reality has no choice but to conform. Living in the end isn't pretending, it's choosing. You choose to believe in your power. You choose to dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You revise your thoughts, your assumptions, and your inner conversations. You think from the outcome, not of it. You remind yourself daily, you don't hope, you assume. You don't wait, you live it. The law of assumption states that whatever you assume to be true, with belief and persistence, will eventually harden into fact. Your brain will rewire its beliefs and assumptions. This isn't a delusion. It's creative consciousness. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and assumed. It accepts what you feed it. Your subconscious mind drives 95% of your actions and beliefs. When you persist in an assumption, your subconscious accepts it as fact, and life begins to reorganize itself around that new truth. Why doesn't the brain know what's real versus imagined? Because your subconscious mind doesn't operate on logic or objective reality. It operates on repetition, emotion, and belief. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between real and imagined. The subconscious mind takes what you feed it, thoughts, images, affirmations, and accepts it as truth if repeated enough. It's not judging what's real, it's just following programming. Bottom line. Your brain isn't concerned with what's objectively real. It's concerned with what you repeatedly believe, assume, and feel. That's exactly why the law of assumption works. Because once your subconscious accepts something as real, it looks for ways to make it true in your experience. It's not about wishing. It's not about hoping. It's about assuming your desire is already fulfilled and then living from that state. Living in the end means you begin to mentally and emotionally accept your desire as already real. You imagine the version of yourself who already has what you want, and you begin to think, feel, and act like them. Not someday, but now. With the law of assumption, you're not asking for something, you're claiming it as done. You're no longer trying to get the desire, you're simply assuming that it's yours, and living in the knowing that it must reflect in your outer world. The 3D world may not show results immediately, but that doesn't matter because the law of assumption responds to your inner state, not your current circumstances. So when you live in the end, you think from your desire, not about it. You don't need to force or manipulate the outside world. You only need to persist in the assumption, the inner conviction, that what you want is already yours. If you were already the person who had your desire, how would you feel? How would you wake up? What would you expect from your day? That's the version of you that the law of assumption responds to. The version of you who knows it is done. Every time you return to that feeling, to that mental state, you are aligning with the outcome you want. You don't need to beg, chase, or prove anything. You simply assume, believe, and persist. This is the power of the law of assumption. This is how you shift. This is how you create. This is how you live in the end. The law of assumption is not about forcing or obsessing. It's about choosing to believe in the unseen and trusting that what you assume must manifest. So ask yourself right now, what am I assuming about myself and my life every day? Because those assumptions are shaping everything. Thanks for watching. And remember, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you assume.